Hello everybody, welcome to another oil painting video. As you can see, I'm redoing a little part of a sky, and that was a retake from a video I did about 30 seconds before this one started. What I'm doing is I am using water mixable oil paint from Daniel Smith. I'm using their brand, and this is my third and final try. I have done a painting already with these Daniel Smiths that wasn't a video, just to try them out, and I used their painting medium, the fast drying linseed oil. Now, I was told by different YouTube videos and everywhere else you can also use water. So I did the first one with the fast drying linseed oil to see how that went, and then I wanted to do this next one, which was this one, with just water as a medium, not just a brush cleaner. Well, it was terrible. I just got as far as part of the sky, and I didn't like it. Now, I'm sure I used too much water, but what I did was, because I am an experienced oil painter, I just put a little bit of water on my brush, dabbed it with the paper towel so it was barely damp. And I just didn't like the way it went on, my own personal taste. So what I did was I wiped it off, I started the video again, and that's where you caught it. And now I'm at the end of putting in the sky pretty much with the fast drying linseed oil as my medium as opposed to water. Now this is the first one I'm doing on video because I wanted to get a feel for it and see, how I like it. And like I told you before, this is my third and final shot at water mixable oils. I do have a green studio with normal conventional oils. It's still very messy, even though it's not toxic anymore. And I just wanted something that can possibly be a lot less messy. And the water mixables are a great shot at it, but there was two things that I had against it. One, it takes a long time to dry, and two, I'm impatient, and there's actually a third. I couldn't get them to look good for anything. The two brands I tried before were the Artisan from Winsor Newton, which is a good brand. A lot of people love them and do real well with them. And the other one was the Lucas Berlin line. And I liked the Lucas Berlin 1862 conventional oils, so I tried those. So I tried their water mixables. Didn't like them at all. And for various reasons. The Lucas, I didn't like, the Berlins, I should say, I didn't like because of their drying time as part of it. It was a little bit longer than I wanted. Not bad, but still more than my impatient self would deal with. Same thing with the Artisans. And two, the Berlins were very difficult to clean with water. And I had some comments because I did a video with them several months back, and some people said because of the beeswax in them it makes it difficult, but regardless of why, I just want something that's easier. Then the other thing for both of them as well was the pigment load. And don't get me wrong, they're both very nice paints, and there's people that do some beautiful work with them, but the pigment load, wasn't what I wanted it to be. I just wanted a little bit more pigment intensity, I guess, in my paintings. And I know Daniel Smith is really good with their watercolors, which I had used in the past. And there was a lot of good reviews on this paint, so I figured, okay, I'll give it a try. I only bought Hansa Yellow Light, Alizarin Crimson, French Ultramarine, Sap Green, and Raw Umber, along with Titanium White, obviously. That's it. I didn't buy, the whole line. I just wanted to buy, 5 colors in white, see what I thought. The first painting I completed, I liked a lot. And I thought, okay, wait a minute. This is the pigment load I wanted. This is the look I wanted. A little bit goes a long way. And the cleanup was good. So I thought tonight I was going to do another painting anyway. So I thought, something? I'm just going to put this one on video and see how it turns out and let everybody know what I came across as far as, what I thought of them. So this is my second time using the Daniel Smiths. And I can honestly say this may be what I've been looking for a very long time. As I said, the pigment load is exceptionally good. The drying time is reasonable. The one I did with the fast drying linseed oil took 5 days for touch dry. So that 5 days I'm patient enough for. 2 weeks I'm not. I'm used to using Griffin Alkyd oil paint, so that's kind of an unfair comparison because those for the most part are touch dry overnight. So I knew I'd have to, make a little bit of an allowance dry time wise. So 4 or 5 days for touch dry I can deal with. I go to a lot of art shows during the year, and I need to be able to sell my work so I can use retouch varnish and bring my paintings to the juried art shows that I do. So between the water mixable part of it, actually, oh, and that's the other part. The cleaning of the brushes is really good. If you're using just water while you're painting, it still leaves a little bit of a stain, I would say. Not anything bad, but it definitely gets all the pigment out of the bristles and stuff with very minimal effort. It's not really crazy to try to get your brushes clean while you're in the painting process. And then with soap and water afterwards, and they come out really nice. So I was very pleased with the cleanup, which is what I'm looking for. I'm very pleased with the pigment load, which I'm looking for. And my style of painting, they seem to work pretty well. So as you can see, I'm doing a nice little landscape here. I've got a little bit of alizarin crimson in the sky. Just like to put a little bit more color than just plain blue at times. I'm going to start putting some darker skies in the future. Darker meaning not dark blue, but like Payne's gray and some stormy looking type skies, that type of thing. Maybe some more purples, some Payne's gray, and some of that stuff. I'm going to do a couple of skyscapes here in the next probably 3 to 5 weeks, somewhere in that area. And I'm not sure what paint it'll be. Like I said, right now, I just bought those colors in the 37 ml and then the 150 ml for the titanium white, because you do use more white. That's going to last me a while. This is a 9x12. This is a gesso board from Ampersand, which I really love painting on. And this is my, I want to say, 4th oil painting now on gesso board. And I'm not 100% sold on the Daniel Smith yet for the water mixable oils, so I have a little bit of time and quite a lot more paint to figure that out. I am pretty sure that I'm done with stretched canvas of any type. I absolutely love these little 1/8" panels from Ampersand. They're museum quality, they're archival, they're wonderful to paint on. You can't really press hard down pressure-wise in some instances like you can with canvas and kind of scrub it in. You really need to, I don't know, put a little bit more pigment on the brush and then use a little lighter touch, because it is a lot slicker than the stretched canvas. And the other thing is too, which I really love, is the stretched canvas, even with linen, unless it's oil primed, which is extremely expensive unless you do it yourself, and I still haven't figured out a good way to do that, the paint absorbs a little bit into the fibers. And it takes a little bit of the luster away. Not a lot, just a little bit. Where on these panels, it's just awesome. It's hardwood, it's museum quality, it's archival, and the pigment stays on the top. It's just beautiful. So, and this painting, I want to say start to finish real time, I want to say it was 28 minutes. So I double speeded it for YouTube, so it'll be about 14 minutes for you to suffer through listening to my voice. And I hope you really, if you're looking for a green studio or you're hesitant about the oils, like I said, I'm not 100% sold on the Daniel Smith water mixables yet. However, I can say that they're very good so far. And I'm going to give it, probably 2 or 3 more paintings. And then at that point in time, I'll decide, this is definitely it, or I'll just go back to my conventional oil painting materials, but with the toxic-free and the non-flammable medium and brush cleaner that I use. So I do have a green studio as it is, but like I said, it's still messy. And even though it's not dangerous like it was to breathe or anything else, it's still a little messy. Where the cleanup is just incredibly easy. A couple paper towels and a little bit of water, and your palette's clean. Your brushes are great with a little soap and water. They are really nice. So here we go, doing a few rocks. And this is not at the end yet, but we're starting to approach the end. And one of the things I learned probably about a year or so ago about rocks, mountains, and stuff like that. I used to, when I first started, tried to make everything so darn precise. And I wanted to get this mountain looking just like this, and this shape like this, and everything else. Until finally I saw a couple of artists just slop on dark color and then form the rock shapes and the mountain shapes with their highlights and shadows. And I tried that a couple of times, and it was a complete disaster. And then, like anything else, you keep practicing and you get better. And now I just love just slapping on some dark paint and putting in my highlights first, then my shadows, then redefining my highlights. That's kind of the process that I do with my rocks and mountains and anything like that. And I really like the way they turn out. I'm really pleased with, the way they look in that respect. And I'm going to keep doing it and just keep perfecting it and hopefully make it look better and better as I go. One of the things that I had an issue with these panels is painting the bottom, okay? Like that bottom row of rocks. As you can tell, this is a flat panel, 1/8 inch, which I like a lot. When I sell my work online, it's easy to put some butcher paper and cardboard around it to protect the painting, stick it into an envelope, and ship it to wherever. Okay. The problem is, when they're only 1/8 inch thick, is painting the bottom, okay? Because it's not the type of thing where, a stretched canvas you can put on the little ledge of your easel, and then, it'll be flush with the part of the easel, and then you can do it down the word. Then you can have the brush go all the way down. Not so easy with 1/8 inch panels. Actually, it's impossible. And then with nothing to really grab on the edges, when I'm on the bottom, I'll be putting my thumb or something on wet paint on the surface. So I came up with an idea that I'm probably not the first one to do it by any stretch, but I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I bought a cheap thing of two-sided tape, and I put a strip along the side, each side, put it on that panel that you see right there. It stuck perfectly. And I was able to get the bottoms, as you saw, without any problem. Once the painting gets touch dry, then I'll take a palette knife or a butter knife or anything and stick it underneath and just pry up. And I already tested it out on a panel without painting, and it comes off pretty easy. So it's not like it's going to, be a nuisance or anything. So now the only problem I had with those panels has been solved. And the thing of it is, too, you can do it for any size as long as you got something bigger to tape it to. And then you also have to make sure the double-sided tape is a thick tape. I didn't use like double-sided Scotch tape that's paper thin. So you want to use something that's a little cushion. I don't remember the name of it. Well, when I do, if anybody was interested, just leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll get the packaging and tell you what that price was. If I'm not mistaken, or what the brand was, rather. If I'm not mistaken, I got it at Hobby Lobby for like $7.99 for a roll, which seems expensive, but considering what I'm using it for, and it makes my life easier, it's not. And then no, I got it at Joann's when I was there with my wife, and she had a coupon, and it ended up costing me with the coupon like $4. And I figured there was enough tape in there to do about 15 paintings. So at that point in time, it's pretty cheap. But I did get it at Joann's, and with coupons, it's very cheap. And then I will, if anybody's interested, get you the name of it if you want to give it a shot with the panel. Okay, so here's the completed painting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like any of my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you do subscribe, you might as well hit that little bell so you're made aware of anytime I upload a new video. I hope everybody has a great rest of your work week, and take care. Until next time, happy painting.